Hello, IT enthusiasts. Welcome to another episode of My Computer Careers Get Into IT Live, where we do just that, get into all things IT. Always excited about this program, especially excited when we get to talk to a student and a grad who you see right here. And I'll give you a few more details there, but let me just kind of walk you through what we're talking about. First, we're the title here is Just Getting Started, One Grad's Path to IT. And you're going to hear a little bit more about what that means and kind of where Aaron came from. But, student and grad success, like I mentioned, it's always our favorite topic. And today is a conversation about perseverance and success. So let's meet Aaron Antigua. He's a graduate from our ITSA program who recently landed a remote gig, and he's out in the world of IT, which is exactly what we like to see. But like many of you, he's continuing to hustle. He's continuing to learn, and he has a sight set on a big future in the industry, which is always good to see. And yes, I am reading that because I wrote that intro and I liked it. So we're definitely here to hear more about Aaron's story. So welcome to the program, Aaron.
Hi, how's it going? It's wonderful to be here. I'm glad to have this opportunity to sit here and talk to you guys.
It is
Um,
it is great to have you aboard, especially folks. You want to tell everybody what time you wrapped up work this morning?
got home around 5 in the morning. It was a bit of a rough night.
Yeah. So he's playing a little hurt today for us, and I really appreciate that. And we're gonna hear his story. Welcome to the world of IT, by the way, folks. You never know exactly when you're going to be called on. So got home at 5, and here we are talking about his gig. So really appreciate that, Aaron.
No
Just
problem.
some quick housekeeping. We have Caitlin out in the chat. So if you have any questions, Rick, by the way, see you there always. Thank you. If you have any questions for Aaron as we chat, feel free to add those in, and we will certainly share and do our best to answer those. But most of all, let's go ahead and have a little bit of fun, like we always do in the next 30 minutes. All right, Aaron, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. Where are you, by the way? What in the country?
I'm in Jersey, South
Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah, no wonder. Well, a little easier to get home at 5 in the morning, I guess, than it is
Yeah.
to rush. Yeah. All right. So before we kind of jump into your journey, your IT journey, could you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself so we can lay a baseline? Where are you from? What was life like before My Computer Career?
Well, um, you know, just normal guy from Jersey. I've been trucking for a few years. Um, I've had a passion for working with computers, whether it's like physical stuff or back in high school, actually working with the code itself.
Yeah.
Massive, like just huge into gaming, played all kinds of video games. Actually, on top of the gig that I started with my CC, I also picked up a little part-time streaming on my off time. So,
Nice.
just kind of building some little blocks for myself here and there.
But so I'm hearing within that you had an interest in IT, but just
Yeah.
weren't quite ready to pursue it or were looking to pursue it.
Yeah, I growing up I always had an interest in it. Computers fascinated me, anything from like how they work to what they can do or what can be done with a computer,
Yeah,
but never really found a good outlet to really get myself in the door for it.
understood completely. You obviously hear it a lot. Um, what game are you vibing on right now?
Um, I actually just recently downloaded the Kingdom Hearts series again. Huge fan of that series since I was a kid,
Yeah.
and decided to download the bundle and play through all the games one more time, just for nostalgia's sake.
Yep. So you're telling me when you're not working till 5 a.m., you're going to be streaming till 5 a.m.
Well, I hope it's not till 5 a.m.,
I
but
gotcha.
I will be streaming.
All right, I gotcha. All right. So your career services advisor shared obviously some information, and it was great to read. And so you described feeling stuck before you found MyCC. You were trapped in a cycle with kind of no clear direction. A lot of people in our audience can certainly relate to that, Aaron. What was that moment when you finally just kind of said, that's enough. Something's going to change here.
Honestly, what really did it for me was one day while driving, it clicked in my head that, yeah, driving trucks and just being on the road is something I enjoy doing, but it just wasn't giving me that full max level satisfaction that I wanted out of life. Like I still felt like there was something there that just hadn't clicked yet. And after doing some searching online, trying to see if there were any programs that one didn't require me to break the bank, and two didn't require me to have to re-enroll into, you know, some school in a crazy state and have to adjust my entire schedule. I found my CC, and well, here we are.
The rest is kind of history, right?
Yeah,
So
everything else just kind of fell in place.
I always ask this question as the PR guy. Did you find us from the radio ad? Or
Believe it or not, no, I actually found you guys online, just
nice.
searching through Google,
Yep.
and right there, boom, my CC, and I was like, hmm, let me see what
Dude,
this is about.
it was meant to be.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Love to hear it. So, driving a truck, and were you driving in the tri-state area there? Were you in Jersey and New York driving?
Yeah, at the time I was running local runs, so furthest I'd probably go would be like Maryland
Okay,
on
gotcha.
occasion. So
Yeah.
I was just, yeah, just in
Still,
that
that
general area.
for folks who for some reason may not know, that's no joke driving still, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
Yeah, that keeps you on your toes. So, I can see why
Hmm.
you're well prepared for IT. All right. Uh, so we kind of hit on this a little bit, but why IT specifically, Aaron? Was there something that interested you about the field? Did more of that interest come later?
So initially it was just a passion. It started out with, me just liking computers, and I had a love for just like messing with things and trying to fix issues,
Yeah,
to, being the main, well, as a kid, the main IT guy in the
yeah,
family.
yep.
If the Wi-Fi is acting up or the TV's acting up, gotta call me.
That
So,
that's a lousy pay job, isn't it? Too being
oh
the
yeah,
yeah,
the best is a good job, and thanks, I appreciate it.
right, yep,
uh, but what really sparked my interest in IT was when I went into high school and I took my first computer science course, and actually got to work with code, and get to actually just do what I kind of started feeling I wanted to do with computers.
yeah.
And as soon as I started and I started to understand how everything worked, it clicked. That's what made me say I do want to pursue this in my life.
And that's not unlike, we've been doing this for a minute now on this program, and that's a lot of I've heard that a lot, Aaron, and I've especially heard I was the family IT guy for years. You don't know how often that pops up. So
Oh
I
yeah,
love to hear it, and I love that it translated to a career.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, man. All right. So you were in our ITSA program.
Hmm.
That's anywhere from 7 to 10 months, depending. You can earn a bunch of certifications, and it's intense for sure.
Oh yeah.
So what was the experience like for you? Once you actually jumped in, was there something that surprised you, uh, one way or the other about the training?
Well, what surprised me about the training, outside of one, like the amount of information that was provided, was how thorough the teachers were themselves in terms of like teaching us what we needed to know and being as helpful as possible when it came to like one-on-one interactions. And honestly, I thought that was amazing, because if I was stuck on anything, or even if I was lagging behind a little bit in class, they made sure to give to sanction off some time to, talk things out with me, ask if I need any assistance, or even ask students that were moving on in the class if they didn't mind, reaching out a hand to the students that were a little behind. And I thought that was wonderful.
So support from the instructors, obviously, it was
Yeah.
was key to kind of helping you through. And if I'm hearing you correctly, we actually recently that 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 rings true because we had we submitted a survey recently or conducted a survey recently, and that survey came back and said that the number one takeaway from the program for students and grads was the strength of the instructors. So that kind of reiterates that point.
Hmm.
So it's really good to hear you say that, Aaron. I'm glad that was the case for you as well.
Yeah, they honestly did their due diligence when it came to student interaction.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, even with the instructors helping you along the way and you digging in and really, doing your thing and studying and making sure you're staying on top of things, you're still gonna face some challenges. That
Oh,
is the
100%.
reality of training and the reality of our training. We don't sugarcoat that. Um, can you talk about one of those kind of tricky spots or tough moments and maybe share with folks how you got through it?
So, and this has been a main issue for me for like any subject really, but it kind of hurt especially here was test taking. So, I'm inherently a horrible test taker.
Right.
I
Right.
can study day in, day out, and I could answer all the questions if it wasn't on a test, but as soon as you say it's a test, my brain just completely shuts down. So, honestly, every uh every attempt that I had at taking certain tests throughout the course,
Yep.
outside of one reaching out for the additional help and additional support, my toughest moments probably had to be the certification tests because albeit it's as long as you know the coursework for the most part shouldn't be too mind bending in
Sure.
terms of like the difficulty, but it's the amount of questions and the level of focus you need to get through that hurdle that definitely wears on the mind.
I hear
And
you. That testing obviously is no joke, and I'm
yeah,
with you on not being a great test taker either. Um, just know you're not alone. I'm sure you know that. We had a
yeah.
webinar with a few folks, and Rick Yager, who's in our chat, was um, one of those grads who joined us, and they all openly talked about, "Hey, yeah, we failed. Yeah, we didn't earn the cert the first time, but we went back and we did earn it."
Hmm.
And I think it was Rick that said, "I actually kind of embraced that because that means that uh, there's a lot of folks that didn't come back and didn't retest, and I did, and that puts me ahead of those folks. So you should pat yourself on the back for continuing to work through those things."
Yeah, and on top of that, even if you did fail, plenty of people, and whether it's students, the teachers, are there to help you and give you any advice that you need to really get that extra push to get past, to hit
Love it.
that pass mark.
Yeah, man. Look, love to hear it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about. So you've heard a little bit about the program and your experiences in the program. Actually, off script a little bit. Did you have a favorite course or favorite cert when you were in the program?
Um, if I'm gonna be honest, it would have to be the the set it would be the cybersecurity portion.
Yep, I
I
hear you.
always kind of I always kind of like mentally got myself into, like an 80s hacking movie sense, like kind of mentality when it came to that I was just like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome."
Was that the certified ethical hacking course? Like, or was it?
Yes.
working. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Um, Bear, I'm hearing the Aaron's level's a little bit low. Are you picking up the same thing? Okay. All right, you're good, buddy. All right.
Alrighty.
All right. So let's talk then a little bit about career services. Yeah, so you've worked your way through the program. Obviously, career services starts working with you kind of right away, to help you with the process because we want you to hit the ground running. So, um, your career services advisor, Cheryl, is the one that shared kind of your information. What did the CS support actually look like day to day, and how were those folks able to help you if they were?
Well, if I'm being completely honest, from my experience with other schools in the past,
Yeah,
your guys' career service has been, I mean, a step above any other that I've experienced. Cheryl has been a wonderful help, a lot of dedication to helping me find work and really, throwing me options and giving a lot of consideration into like where I'm at, my level of my skill level, and as well as the fact that I'm still new and still getting my foot in the door. She gave me calls either daily or weekly and would continue to reach out, give me more ideas on top of the jobs that I was already applying to. She would give me more suggestions, contacts to reach out to, and even if there was a job that she didn't personally give me, she would still reach out on my behalf to see if she can push for my application to get expedited a little bit. So, hands down, best career services that I've dealt with in my years since college. So, I can't complain. Wonderful job.
beautiful. Really good to hear. Just and from a practical standpoint, did that team help with like interview prep, resume
Hmm.
development, all the career fair stuff? Is that kind of what some of
Yes,
what they and she helped you with?
yes. Everything from questions, suggestions on attire, and how I should present myself and, position myself when talking. Yeah, just all around very helpful in every aspect of, well, the career search.
Got it. All right. By the way, I forgot to mention Rick in the chat says he's also a heavy Kingdom Hearts enjoyer too. Just so you know, you're certainly not alone there.
Oh, I hope not.
But you know that. Yeah, exactly. All right. So, Aaron, you're now working remotely with Working Solutions, if I know that correct, if I got that
Hmm.
right. And if that's the case, can you just for those folks who may want to hear a little bit about, okay, I'm going to jump out into the world of IT. I'm entry level as well. Can you talk about the role, kind of, and what the work actually looks like?
All right. So, with my role, I'm currently specifically doing a contract for TurboTax, which honestly I found initially to be a bit of an ironic position for me to have, considering I've done taxes for my family through TurboTax for years.
Right.
So that kind of went full circle for me.
Yeah.
Uh, I landed it through Cheryl sending me information. Sorry.
It's all
I
right.
landed it through Cheryl sending me some information on Working Solutions hiring process, and there was a massive hiring event that they had for new graduating students. So I went and decided, you know, I've heard from Cheryl herself saying a lot of students have applied here and have gotten picked. So, might as well give it a shot. And sure enough, they ended up hiring me. And I was a little intimidated at first because,
Of course.
it was first remote job, a situation that I haven't been in. And honestly, after getting into, a sense of what the workflow is, it's been wonderful. I can't complain. I get to actually sit there and be the person to help out, the people that are struggling to deal with their taxes, and any if issues that they have with the app, or with any processing. And I love it. I love it. It's a wonderful position to be in.
It's great to hear that you're happy and that you're working in, an industry that you love. So are you essentially, for lack of a better way to say it, are you taking tickets? Are you kind of the virtual help desk and helping
Pretty
folks?
much, yeah.
Got it. All right. We say it all the time. It comes up again. Everyone, if you take nothing else away from this program, don't be afraid of the help desk. You
Mm.
learn so much on the help desk,
And it
not only technically, which I'm sure you'll agree with, Aaron, but also just how to communicate with folks. Those soft skills. Would you agree?
Yes, especially in the realm of IT, a lot of people wouldn't realize. Well, a lot of people wouldn't think that working in IT also requires having good interpersonal communication skills with people. But it definitely does. It plays a huge part. How you talk to people, how you explain things, because obviously, when stuff isn't going the way you want it to, people are going to be heated. So you have to learn how to kind of navigate through conversations and explain to people in a manner that's easy to understand, but not in a sense that's you talking down to them, but getting them to agree with, okay, this is a fixable situation. Now I know for next time.
So well said. So well said. Got to know how to talk to folks and
Oh
not
yeah.
be mad at the same time. Got to keep those clients happy.
And oh, is it? That's the hard part, is not getting mad.
No doubt. No doubt. Yep. Well played. Looks like we have a question. Was there Brandon over on LinkedIn? Looks like was there training involved before you truly started working? Um,
Yes,
okay. Good.
yes, there
Go
was. They offer a training course throughout the week during the day. It's Monday through Friday. Uh, I think it was like 8 to 11, around there. Just a few hours really get you, introduced to the system. They were really in depth with explaining how every aspect of the system works. Didn't realize how much went into it when I had to download certain specific apps so that I can run, the support from the browser to how they connect to the TurboTax systems itself. But they were really helpful, really insightful, and in depth in teaching us like what needed to be done and what steps to take and how to really deal with people whenever we receive a ticket.
Got it. Perfect. Thanks for answering that question, Brandon. Thank you for the question. It's a good one. All right. So we talked about perseverance and hustle when we led this thing. So you're also obviously overnight must be a thing for you. You're working overnight. If I have this right, still as what I have here is yard jockey, while
Hmm.
getting your foot in IT, continuing to get your foot in IT. You got a lot going on, buddy. I mean, obviously
Oh
at
yeah.
work. How are you managing the balance?
So I'm managing the balance basically. My second half of the week, my late Wednesday into Sunday morning is primarily my overnight schedule.
Okay.
Luckily for me, since this job has been an independent contract job through Working Solutions, I was able to kind of just pick my schedule and how I wanted to work, space things out properly. That
That's a
I
bonus, by
was,
the way. Nice.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
That I was able to ensure that I had the first half of the week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday dedicated to my work at TurboTax so that I can ensure I have proper rest, as well as enough time to actually do the work and get myself involved. And it has been an adjustment. It definitely has, but overall, it's been an amazing experience. It's something to strive for. It's definitely not it's not easy, but it's for sure rewarding. rather than just waking up on a day off and lazing about, like I have something additional to work towards,
Yeah.
and I couldn't be happier.
Well, if it was what's the old saying? If it was easy, everyone would
Yeah,
do it. Yeah, that's how you separate yourselves. And it's really great to hear that, and it looks like Rick over in the chat also kind of agrees about, everyone fails at some point. Lock in, it's part of it. Don't be shocked. It's not even news. Get right back at it. So, and
that is
that's
true.
certainly what you and he and others have done, no doubt. Thanks, Rick. That's a good one. All right, so um, I think we covered some of this, but you're early in your career. Is there anything that's you would say is most satisfying or that you enjoy more than than the next thing?
Um, if I'm going to be honest, I think the most satisfying part has to be honestly the gratitude. When I'm able to actually solve something in a timely manner, and this is like I just sorry. This pretty much boils down to like any job I've had in the past. Like I've had, you know, jobs in customer service and dealing with people at phone stores, and I get the same sense of satisfaction. I solve an issue that they've been having and make it so that they understand how to avoid it in the future, and it brings me a lot of joy. Seeing that sense of relief and satisfaction that they get when all right, crisis averted, we're good, and
Right.
I know now how to avoid this next time. It's wonderful.
I think that's a great answer. No matter what level you are in your career, having someone recognize your work is
Hmm.
important, and it's always going to feel good.
Just gives
And
you
I
that
haven't
sense
heard
of
that yet. Really
validation.
good answer, no doubt. All right, so you used a great analogy, and I want to make sure I get it right here. Comparing yourself to someone who just finished the tutorial phase of a video game and is now charging into the first level. That's kind of what you're doing right now.
Oh
So
yeah.
I get the video game analogy now, by the way. What do you think that next level looks like for you?
So right now, it's just getting my foot in the door. I feel that working with working solutions is just getting a feel for what to expect further down the line.
Yep.
And my ultimate goal is to someday actually have my own IT consultation business to where I can help people in my little neck of the woods. Because one issue I ran into was actually finding work either within my state or remote
Right.
that actually kind of works with my state. A lot of people, like a lot of places, don't really cater to South Jersey, and
Right.
I would like to actually, start my own little business and branch out so that people know, if you're from South Jersey or from Philly or even Delaware, there's a little hub close by that you can go and branch from. And yeah, from there it's just, slow expansion, just growing bigger and bigger and bigger until I get to where I really want to be.
So your first level now, and your goal is you want to get to that boss level.
Yeah, right now my first level is just grow a little bit more. Go
Yeah.
from just working small stuff to, maybe dealing with, you know, a slightly bigger company or a bigger area and just go there, see how much I can handle and how far I can get.
Never stop learning, especially in IT. It's
Hmm.
great to hear that, Aaron.
Especially with how quick technology expands. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm an old dude, man. I struggle with it every day. You can imagine, for sure. I'm gonna have to have, you know, our my four nieces. They're the IT gals in the family. They help me out with all the stuff I can't figure out as the old guy.
It's
All
usually
right,
how it is.
I'll get you out of here on this one, and I also
Alrighty.
really appreciate all the insight. So let's look at those folks that were like you. For someone that's sitting at home, um, stuck, maybe uncertain, not sure exactly where to start. What do you say to them? What do you want them to hear?
So honestly, if you're feeling stuck, you're feeling uncertain, a little nervous, anxious, all the big words that definitely scare most people. The best thing I can say is it's just like jumping into a really cold pool. At first you don't want to do it because it's cold and nobody likes being cold, but then you just close your eyes and you take the jump, and soon as you do, you feel instant satisfaction. I mean, that's the best way to put it. Like, I was super nervous. I was afraid to really jump into this head first, but I did, and honestly, I'm glad I didn't back down. It has been a wonderful experience through and through from start to finish. Everything from the tools that were offered to me for studying to the people that I've studied with, classmates that I've had, teachers that I've had, even down to career advisement. Every step of the way has been wonderful. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better program personally.
That's it. That's exactly where we're going to cap this thing. That's a perfect way to end it. Um, Aaron, it's been great to hear more about your journey. Obviously, I saw it on paper. It does not do it justice. This conversation certainly has been wonderful, and I think helped a lot of folks. I especially appreciate the fact that you shut it down last night at 5 a.m. and still found time for us.
No problem. I'm glad to have to be here. I'm glad, for you guys to reach out. This was definitely it's definitely a first and definitely a little nerve wracking,
Heck yeah,
especially fresh off of waking up. But all in all, wonderful experience. Can't complain.
appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. And by the way, um, Aaron held out for this live. We offered maybe a recorded testimonial, and he said, "No, I want to do the live." Challenge himself a little bit. So,
Hmm.
feather in your cap, my man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Are you working this weekend?
Yes, yes, I am.
Of course. Yeah, of course you are. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Aaron, thank you. Everybody else, thank you so much for joining us. Always appreciate the insight from our guests, but also always appreciate the participation from folks out in the audience. And thank you for watching. We will be here next week, same time, same place. We have a really exciting guest for next week as well. We'll announce that on Tuesday, so stay tuned. And otherwise, just enjoy the weekend and enjoy the time. Um, have a great one, everyone. And Aaron, if you don't mind sticking around for just a second.
No problem.
All right.